Ladies and gentlemen, we will now give the floor over to the Centre for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship and the Budapest Institute of Banking for a very special 1.5 hours, which will include an award ceremony and the official launch event of Payments in Digital Finance Specialization.
Welcome to the official launch of Payments in Digital Finance at the Singapore FinTech Festival. This is great to have all of you here with us today, joining from so many different countries. I am here physically in London, in the offices of CFTE. The team at BIB is presenting from Budapest, and our speakers are joining from more than 10 countries, from Cambodia to the US, from Belgium to the UAE. I am Nguyen Trieu, co-founder of CFTE, and I will be today's Master of Ceremony. Today's event is all about the fastest growing sector of financial services, and that is payments and digital payments. Let me share with you just two numbers to illustrate the importance of payments today. It's 0 and 50%. 10 years ago, the top 10 largest financial institutions in the world were all banks. There was 0 payment companies. It's 0. Today, there are only 5 banks left. The 5 other companies are payment companies and platforms like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Ant, and Tencent. This is 50%, from 0 to 50 in 10 years. And that's why the topic of today will be about payments, and the 2 hours will be really packed. First is the launch of the online specialization Payments in Digital Finance, jointly developed by CFTE and BIB. Then we'll have a fantastic panel composed of the National Bank of Cambodia, Libra, MasterCard, Standard Chartered, who will give their views on who is really transforming payments. Then we will have the awards for the future of payments, where we will announce the game changers in the category of company, regulator, and individuals. And finally, we will have a Q&A to make this section as interactive and engaging as possible. Depending on whether you are joining directly from the platform of Singapore FinTech Festival or the Zoom platform, you should be able to ask questions in the system. So please submit questions during the event, and our team will collect from the different systems, and our speakers will answer them at the end. Before moving on to the speakers, I would like to make a big thank you to the great institutions that have endorsed today's event. The FinTech Association of Hong Kong, the FinTech Alliance, the Banking Association for Central and Eastern Europe, Future Now, the Association of Serbian Banks, EFIS, My Conference, the Association of Vietnamese Scientists and Experts, Talk Portal, Rohanhill Digital, the British Embassy of Budapest, and Pantera Solutions. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Gergely Fabian, Executive Director at MNB, the Central Bank of Hungary, and CEO of the Budapest Institute of Banking. We will then have Tram and Nguyen, co-founder of CFTE and ambassador of the Singapore FinTech Festival. Up to you, Gergely.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Huy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official launch of the Payments in Digital Finance Specialization. My name is Gergely Fabian, and I have been running the Budapest Institute of Banking, BIB in short, since the establishment. BIB is the educational arm of the Magyar Nemzeti Bank, the Central Bank of Hungary, and the Budapest Stock Exchange. We are committed to help people upskilling in the financial sector and beyond. From traditional banking courses, such as risk management and compliance, to courses on digital finance and sustainability. Fun fact, actually, the Payments in Digital Finance specialization was born during the Singapore FinTech Festival in 2019. Inspired by the festival, on a food court meeting with Tram and Nguyen, the founders of CFTE, we decided to create it and launch this course on the 2020 edition of the Singapore FinTech Festival. Sadly, we couldn't travel to Singapore this year. I'm right now in Budapest. However, the bright side is that Budapest can present itself to the world of digital finance. Now, I will give the floor to Tram in London.
Thank you very much, Gageli, and welcome from London. On behalf of CFT, I'm delighted to welcome you to the launch of the Payments in Digital Finance at the Singapore FinTech Festival. Let me first introduce you to CFT. CFT was started 3 years ago in London and was initially designed for people like me. In other words, people in traditional finance with no knowledge of technology or who feel that they are missing on the revolution happening in the industry. Since then, we have grown into a global platform where we've trained tens of thousands of professionals, and today we are glad to be in Singapore, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Luxembourg, and we are delighted to have a close relationship with Budapest Institute of Banking. And today is much more than just professionals in financial services, but also we are having on our platform FinTech entrepreneurs, regulators, and even new graduates. The core of CFT is for the industry, by the industry, which is why all our courses are designed and taught by industry practitioners from the most innovative banks, FinTech startups, regulators, or investors. It would be too long for me to list all our programs, from artificial intelligence to entrepreneurship with Revolut or Uber. And if you would like to know more, I would invite you to check and to go on our website, cft.education. Today, it's a very special day for many reasons. This is the 5th year in a row that CFT is associated with Singapore FinTech Festival. And the idea itself of CFT was born 4 years ago at the first SFF, thanks to the very inspirational messages of Ravi Menon and Sotmandu Mohanty. And as Gageli mentioned, this is also in Singapore. A year ago, that we discussed about how quickly payments were changing and that most people did not have a basic knowledge of how payments worked, let alone how they were evolving. And that's how this online specialization course started. And between the original idea and what it has become, I could say that it has exceeded our wildest expectations. As the team dived into the topics of payments, as the program directors talked with hundreds of experts around the world, we realized the breadth and the depth of this topic. And this is why, over the past few months, it became bigger and became a series of 6 courses with 30 experts and thousands hours of work. We will talk much more about payments today, and I will leave people much more qualified than me to discuss these topics. And I'm sure you will enjoy the session very much, and like me, you are also keen to discover who are the winners of the awards. Let me finish by hugely thanking Budapest Institute of Banking for their great partnership, the program directors for the incredible work the past few months, all the speakers for their amazing insights, all our partners for their support, and of course, all of you for being part of this conference.